Yo, press record. What's up? You're listening to Zero to X. My name is Daniel, and today with me, as always.
Hey guys, my name is Amara.
Oh, my guy, what's up?
Bro.
What's up?
Bro.
What's up? What's
My
up?
brain is fried, but I have to do this.
Show up.
Oh, bro.
Show up.
I think that's the crazy thing we showed up, that you look at the situation like, no part of me wants to do this. I need rest first.
Yeah,
but
man.
the situation demands that I do this right now.
Absolutely.
How you doing now?
Bro, it's been a ruckus, man.
Can imagine.
Like this shooting session is literally sandwiched between two other engagements at opposite ends of the city. I've come from one end of the city.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of the city now.
Guys.
I'm going to the other extreme.
Daniel is giving us the definition of showing up. Love it.
Bruh.
Love it.
Bro, this entire week has been really, really interesting.
Bruh.
Yeah. It's been a week. It's been a week.
Mine was pretty uneventful actually. Aside like surpassing my limits.
Did you guys see Amara's WhatsApp story? Wait, I said what's Instagram
story.
Wait, I'm like, what's this? Hotness.
I didn't even realize how hot it was.
Hotness. Test trap.
I didn't realize
Trap.
till Bill pointed it out. I didn't realize.
Test trap. He wants to distract women.
Guys, I don't know such things.
I'm just kidding, bro. You look
Oh
mighty
my
fine,
God.
bro. You look mighty good, man.
Oh, bro. I need to hit the gym. Reason being, like, I'm tired of relying on.
You guys, Amara
body
came
weight.
to my apartment and insulted my dumbbells. Like, these are too light. Like,
No.
it's not like as if I don't know. That's why I don't use them. But how do you just go to someone's house? Second night that you're sleeping. Do you know that there is a threat of you sleeping outside? You just go inside.
Oh,
pick up
God.
something, nah, this can't work. What's your problem, man? But yeah, totally, man.
Bro.
Like, literally, to be fair, what I do with them is I just pack the heaviest in
Yeah.
one because they are adjustable. I just like on one. See, if you want to,
Similar to what I do as well.
yeah, if you want to support my ministry, like just buy me like
The whole bench.
The whole, like,
No, I need the bench.
Like the old dumbbell set.
Oh
The
yeah.
old dumbbell set.
I think there's 50 kg. No, I think I've seen 50 kg
Yeah,
dumbbells.
it's on. Yeah,
Like, I mean,
adjustable.
adjustable.
Yeah, there's a set. It's on gym. Yeah,
Bro.
the set. So if you ever feel like want to show Daniel and Amara love, buy, because see, guys, we've talked about it. Gyms are not practical for the both of us.
The timing
The time doesn't work because for people that
doesn't
take
work.
time as
That's why I envy some
seriously and
people.
me as Amara and I do, let me explain to you what gymming means. And for context, I work out twice a day, one strength training, one cardio. Amara has a pretty intensive workout schedule as well,
I'm not twice a day like you.
but not twice a day like me. But I just do 30,
Oh, no,
40 minute
my
sessions.
workout sessions are actually pretty much twice
Yeah.
a day, actually. Because
If
what
you
I
think
do in the
about
morning
it.
is cardio.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm stair climbing,
Yeah.
so that's cardio.
So it's kind of like the same
And
thing.
then I
to be
work
fair.
out regular during
Then
the
it's
day.
kind of like the same thing,
Oh,
to
yeah.
be fair. Yeah,
Interesting.
so we kind of work out twice a day, one strength training, one cardio. And I think about it, the workout is supposed to take 30, 45 minutes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, guys, the way Amara and I think about time, if you call me and say you want to come to my house and I say, yes, I love you, just understand that because my schedule has changed, literally.
Wow.
Do you understand? No, don't come.
No, for me, it will kind of be like, come, but like, I won't have your time.
I won't have your time kind of
I won't
thing,
have your
yeah.
time.
But then, so back to the point I was trying to make about gyms and why Amara and I personally don't go to gyms right now as much, except like we get apartments or houses where the gym
is in the
building.
Oh, God.
That would
Oh
be,
my
that
God,
would be
that's a dream.
That would be a dream. That would actually be a dream because in minutes that's supposed to be a workout that's supposed to be 30, 45 minutes, yeah. Turns to 2 hours.
Yeah, because of the commute.
Because of the commute and the fact that it's a public gym,
Yes,
so you can't
do everything on your own
you
time.
You literally want to do a barbell row, a dumbbell row for your back, and someone will be tired and sit on that bench, and there's nothing you can do.
You just have to
You
wait.
can't tell that person to stand up, please. You can't if you have proper gym etiquette. So it's just like, bruh. You spend literally 1/3 of the time just faffing about.
Guys, I've calculated the time multiple times.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I can't give it.
I can't give it. I don't have it to give.
I don't have it to give.
So what I do is I find creative ways to challenge myself.
Yeah.
Make the reps slower.
Yeah.
Increase time under tension.
Yeah.
Things like that.
My ultimate goal though is to set up a home gym.
No, a home gym, no, for sure. But then I won't lie that being in a gym kind of has its
It
upsides.
does have its, yes,
it has its upsides.
It does.
Especially like with the amazing people you can get to meet, right? The connections you can forge, things like that. Like everything has its pros and cons. Like I would love it if the gym was just like a 10-minute run from my side. Do you understand? I would probably be able to restructure around that, but it's too complicated. And God help
guys,
me,
I went to the gym close to Daniel's side.
Close.
The gym is not close.
LOL. I was very excited about I registered for the gym actually, and I probably still have like a gym membership there. Right? I just haven't gone because the timing doesn't make sense for me to give right now, man. It doesn't.
We'll figure it out though. I mean, home workers are doing what they're need to do for me. But like I was telling Daniel off the podcast actually a week or two ago, that I'm just laughing at myself. I'm doing strength training and I am not taking any, what's it called again? Creatine. Yes. I'm not taking any of that. Like, bro, how are you helping yourself, man? So it kind of makes the strength training have to be a lot more long term and not as immediately gratifying. It is what it is. At least I'm happy about the ability to keep building.
It is what it is. And
consistency.
Then, and like the fact of the matter is that the time constraint comes from I promise you, it's not just because we're trying to say, oh, we can hit the gym. We would rather hit the gym, right?
Yes, I would rather.
I've realized that we talk about gym a lot. See, Amara, if people see us in real life and they don't follow sports, problem. Problem. So, but yeah, why we think about the time cost and whatnot, I would say for me is because, bro, I will not lie, I have a lot of things to do. A lot of things.
I do have a lot of things to do as well.
Yeah. No, it's the same thing for Amara, but Amara has a lot of things to do is in one thing.
Yeah. Daniel is juggling multiple.
Mine is in a couple of things.
Daniel want to blow everywhere possible.
Everywhere, man. Bro, just that way on the podcast, otherwise language. I'm like, everywhere. So, really, kind of takes us into what we want to talk about today, which was
very nice.
Which was a question that was asked by one of our listeners. And guys, you can do that like on our Instagram at the 0 to X podcast. You can comment on our posts and talk about things you want to hear our thoughts about. Like in no way are we experts, but we'll try our very best to approach the conversation in a way that's stimulating and will be useful for you, like show you different perspectives to consider, so to speak, and get as close as you can get to an informed decision, right? Or a stand or an opinion on whatever subject it is that you bring up. So like we'll try our very best. So absolutely make the suggestions. Tell us the things you want to hear. Connect with us at the 0 to X podcast on our Instagram. So the question that was asked was, how do you manage multiple visions?
Yeah.
When we're having our weekly, I beg. I was just about to say that. It's not that I'm in the best position to talk about it. Let me give you guys the backstory of how this happened. So like a couple days ago, we had 0 to X meeting for this week, us and our amazing team. Shout out Osawan, shout out Esosa.
Yeah.
And they were like, what do we talk about today that would be useful, obviously, and refreshing in the sense that something we haven't necessarily spoken about before, because we find out that we typically feel like re-emphasizing or rehashing concepts that we might have talked about before, typically in some way, form, or shape in our episodes. And we probably will in this episode, but so the same bits of knowledge that you've heard us talk about, but constructing them in a way that caters to this question. So another concept, another overall concept that is refreshing, something that we haven't necessarily talked about before. And in this case, it's how do you juggle multiple visions? And on the meeting, I was like, Daniel is the best one. I'm like, what's your bloody problem, my guy? Because fact of the matter is, and for the longest time, so we go through a really interesting process of figuring out what to talk about, right? So the first thing is that we will not, or let me not say the first thing. One thing that we hold important is that we won't have conversations that we are ill-informed or uninformed about, or we
can't even call ourselves anywhere near subject matter experts.
Not even subject matter experts, just barely knowledgeable. Like, Amara and I are not going to touch it. We only want to talk about the things that provide you the most value, the best value, right? And we have some credibility to go along with it. So like it puts your mind more at ease understanding what we're saying, receiving what it is we have to say. And I was like, this question would have been perfect 5 years from now when the things I'm building have worked.
I know, right?
Right? It would have been perfect 5 years. Like the best person to ask this question would have been Elon Musk, to be fair, because he's done a couple of things side by side at the same time. Just right? Bro. Like, yeah. And what's even more impressive about him is he's done things that were truly revolutionary, like the electric car.
No, Twitter,
private travel,
X,
now Twitter X. The jury is still out on that, right? Because
I like what's headed though.
Yeah, we have to see what it becomes. We know. See, we are well aware.
I think about WeChat.
WeChat China.
On steroids.
That's been the overall vision. Let's see how great the execution towards it. Again, like all of these things, time will tell. But I think, in terms of delivering and creating, Elon has a fairly trustable track record, right? And I say this with all sense of, I'm not the kind of person that likes to talk about other people when you haven't done anything with your life that we can see tangibly, right? Like these are just my own 2 cents, observing what I've seen the man do from my limited POV, right? And said, okay, he made private space travel, private space exploration what it is today. I don't think there would have been Virgin Galactic or what is Jeff Bezos' own space? Blue Origin. If SpaceX didn't, I might be wrong. But there, in a lot of ways, you can say that SpaceX was a catalyst for private space exploration.
It does seem that way, but I don't know the full story.
Yeah, well, obviously we don't know the full story.
They seem like they are all competing at the same time.
No, when you have money, you can do things. Man.
Exactly.
When you have money, you can do things. But bro, Elon went through it, man, with SpaceX.
Yeah, he did.
He went through it with SpaceX. Went through it with Tesla. Like most people said Tesla wouldn't work, and I mean, bro, over almost 500,000 cars delivered every year. That's crazy. So. Electric vehicles, EVs are what they are today. You have the Lamborghini yours. I think it's electric because literally, electric cars are mainstream now. He pushed an entire industry. The only person that has done that has the mouth to say that was Steve Jobs.
Well,
no, animation with Disney and with I see what you're saying, right? I see what you're saying. There are a couple of people that totally revolutionized industries. But let's say recent history.
Okay, cool.
Let's limit it to recent history. Because Steve Jobs did it with mobile computing. He did it in the music industry with the iPod. Mobile industry with the iPhones. And then in animation with Pixar. So, I mean, multiple visions and stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying.
I feel so ill-informed, bro. Trying to answer this. Oh my god!
Like I'm really interested in like company. I'm interested in greatness as a concept, right? So I pay equal attention to the companies that built and become the giants and the monoliths we know them to be today, and the ones that failed. I study them equally. I study them equally. One of the best books you can ever read about business is The Hard Things About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz.
Interesting.
Bro, that book gives this isn't sunshine and rainbows, man. Like it's like jab, hook to your face telling you bro. Like I listened to the audiobook for almost 3 hours straight on Carrot Time, and I felt like I was doing Carrot a favor. Because the information I was like, this is probably the most valuable thing I can learn right now. And taking that my God, you learn the hard thing about hard things. What nobody tells you about business and entrepreneurship. If you're not the entire round, all of you are saying, please let's go back to 95. You are entrepreneuring now, aren't you? You're seeing. But because everybody was like, entrepreneur, you make your own money, live like your own self.
People don't understand the concept of the road less traveled. Daniel said on some other episode, the road not traveled.
The road not traveled.
We've not explored it yet. Anyway, guys, let's just give them some points to take home. What do you think?
No, yeah, for sure. So, when you're running multiple visions, so let me explain what that looks like and who this typically happens to. Very smart, multi-talented people.
Yes,
who are fast learners.
That's their group chat, bro.
That's their group chat.
Yeah.
I'm your ambassador. I'm your poster boy. there are a couple of us. Most really, really brilliant people that you see, right? Multi-talented, very smart, fast learners. So they pick things up easily.
Yeah.
And because of their capacity for vision or for bigness, right? They can easily see the road of what the particular thing could become. They don't think about things ordinarily. They don't say, let's try and do. The when they are learning or doing a thing, they are because of the excitement that comes with learning and creating and building, they're able to see, this could become this. But the thing is that typically this becoming that takes a lot of work.
Yes, it does.
And we are truly limited by time,
energy.
Yeah. Those are the two constraints. So that's one thing you have to take home first. Let's give you the break. The first thing when you're trying to drive, they teach you how to match brake.
And clutch.
Just match brake first. In doubt, match brake.
When in doubt, the brake is your best friend.
Just match brake. You know what to do? Just match brake. So the fact of the matter is that we need to understand that we are limited in time and energy.
Yeah.
We are typically the most well-intentioned people. Right? We want to learn, we want to do, we want to build.
As a way Naval said it.
Do you understand? But the fact is that we need to be pragmatic about things, right? And it starts with understanding that there is only so much time and energy in the world.
Yes.
Let me classify or define what multiple visions is like. Things in different areas, or even can be the same thing, but they are major enough to demand a couple of months or years of work for you to see them materialize. It's not just something a quick project you can do, right? So if there is anything that constitutes that, learning a new skill, a new job, switching industries, building different products, right? Any of these single ventures can constitute one thing, and then combining them or trying to do all of these things together is what makes it chasing multiple visions.
Yes, that's what makes it challenging.
And that's what makes it challenging, right? And fact of the matter is, can it be done? Yes. The question is how.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are quick to say that people like me that have this kind of multiple vision thing, right? We suffer from the shiny object syndrome. So shiny object syndrome meaning that we want to just attack everything that is new and popping and trending. And they typically liken it to the woman in the red dress in The Matrix. Yeah, being distracted, right? And while I understand that there are some people that do not have discipline and focus enough to want to do things, I think there's a difference between these two groups. And this is to make people like me not feel as bad. Don't apologize for your gifts and talents, man. Never do that. You have a duty and a responsibility to serve the world with your gifts and fulfill your potential in the most responsible way, right?
Yeah.
But never apologize for the fact that you are smart and a fast learner and whatnot. There is what doing things and building this vision takes in real life, right? There is what doing that needs. And maybe that's what we're going to share a little bit about today, right? But don't ever apologize for it. Because the point is one of the most powerful things you will learn to do is to say no.
Yeah.
I know that, okay, there's promise here, but this opportunity is not for me. I can't act on it. Even no matter how good it looks, you must learn to say no.
I think another thing is just segmenting in some way. Like thinking about the looking at those passions, or looking at those things of interest and asking yourself, which of these things do I want to do as a hobby? Which of these things, are not just random passions, passions that are actually lucrative, that have the potential to make you money. And you're looking at them and you're like, okay, which ones do I want to do as a hobby? Which ones do I want to do as, which ones do I want to be known for? Which ones do I want to...
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So I think there's some segmenting there.
There are ways to get creative with that, right? But the fact of the matter is, like, the point I'm approaching, thinking about this or trying to share my thoughts on is pragmatically, practically in the day-to-day, whatever you classify them as, they will place a demand on time and energy. And how do you navigate that? How do you manage these multiple visions? Like Amara said, clarity.
Oh, okay. I see where you're coming from.
Knowing what certain things are, like in the context of things, knows, okay, you can then determine that I can give
how much can I give this?
I can give this amount of time
because of
the clarity you have with what this is,
in your life and what that plays.
Exactly. So, but what that looks like is thinking and knowing and blah, blah, blah is one thing. Knowing how to execute and deliver is another thing.
Okay.
You already have, for people like us, you already have that knowing and thinking and planning and visioning things settled down. But the execution and delivery of that vision is another skill or a set of skill sets you need to learn. So typically the first step, in saying you have coconut head, or not that you have coconut head. For instance, for me, the time in my life I tried doing just one thing, right? I was miserable. I was very unfulfilled.
Interesting.
Like, bro, it was bad. I'm like, I want to listen to this your advice, but bro, I'm miserable. I gave it a full year. I was miserable. I was like, nah, it's not me that's living my life like that. And I looked at all of the top people. Which really successful person is doing just one thing? They're on multiple boards.
The problem is that they start off doing one.
That's where I'm going, which is why I'm talking about the skill of execution. It's a trajectory. That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
The fact is, learn how to deliver and execute first.
Okay.
And you most likely will not be able to do that doing 2-3 things at the same time.
Fair.
Start with one.
Yeah.
You might not end with one. This is where a lot of people make the mistake. Most people say do one thing. I say start with one thing.
Yeah.
So you're not going to ignore those other things, but you need to build in yourself the ability
to take
the competence
from zero to build,
and the reputation, because you will need it to take it from zero to build. Love it.
Yes.
Zero to build and delivered.
Yes.
You've done that for one thing. You've created systems around this that make this sustainable, right? You can now start the second thing,
board.
right? Start the second thing. The first thing is still going on. You're still monitoring. This is why, like we talked about in a recent episode, tracking, documenting, monitoring. You will be doing that for the rest of your life.
Or you hire somebody to do it.
Or you hire at the end of the day.
Actually, there's only so much you can outsource.
There is only so much. Not even that. You will still need to process the information that they are giving you.
Fair.
So in some way, it is tracking. You might not be the one looking at the matrix or the dashboard or the Excel sheets or whatnot, or reading the customer reviews. But there will still be information at some level that you will need to process to be able to impute into that thing. Right? So start off learning to do things, being able to deliver. Take one thing from zero to built and delivered. Right? Create systems for that. Start off the second thing. Right? Do the same thing. And at some point in time, like I said, I'm not there yet, but at some point in time, because from other people that I've seen do it and do it well, you will need a coach. You will need a mentor at a point in time. Because there is wisdom that you need. There is one advice that you will just hear that we will it will level things up for you. And shortcut what could have been an extremely long path.
Yes, I completely agree.
And you will need mentors and coaches at that point. Like there is no discussion about it. Because you will only even get access to those people when you have a reputation of being able to deliver. You really only get access to those people.
Actually, that's when your name will start being mentioned in the rooms.
And they know, they just know, I know where you are. I saw a movie, really lovely movie, Lamborghini, the man behind the legend. It's the story of how Lamborghini started.
Did it just come out?
No, I think it was a 2022 movie.
Wow.
Really beautiful story. So apparently, Lamborghini started off doing farm tractors, according to the story, according to the biopsy. Started off doing farm tractors. And the car to buy them was Ferrari.
I think I know part of this story.
Yeah, the car to buy them was a luxury car, but apparently Ferraris had bad clutches. So Lamborghini was like, he went to meet
them
Ferrari to say, okay, look, you have a beautiful car, but this clutch can be better. I can make the clutches. Let's do. The funny thing is that Enzo Ferrari knew what he was introducing himself like. Oh, my name is Ferruccio Lamborghini, blah blah blah, like beautiful Italian accent, like Frank Grillo did an amazing job portraying him. Like, I can imagine the scene in my head. And he was like, blah, 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 blah. Then Enzo, when he was about to enter his car, said, go back to making farm tractors. That's what you do. So he knew what he was already. This just buttresses the point that the moment people know you for results and know you as a doer, your names will come up in places that you wouldn't even know that they have come up in.
Yeah.
But you need to first learn how to build.
Yeah.
And sometimes learning how to build, you need to hyper-focus. And that hyper-focus means doing one thing.
Yeah.
Start. I didn't say do one thing. I said start one thing and one thing only. See that thing to a level that would mean success, that you would classify as success,
yes,
right, or as finished, or as done to a particular milestone that you feel is meaningful. Do it one more time, because now you will now know what it is to build. You will now pragmatically by yourself see, how many things can I really do?
Yes, that makes sense.
How many things can I really do?
That makes sense.
Now you will now look at that your list and say,
this too can go.
This too can go. I don't need you. Because see, there is a way. See, the people tell you when you want to box, you might have the plan in your head, but when you're in the ring and the first punch
has hit you,
strategy goes out because there you have to adapt.
Yeah. People
don't realize, you've said this thing before. I'll bring it to this context, that people don't realize how much work it takes to get somewhere.
Yeah.
People don't realize, us dreamers and visionaries. That's why I say, I was thinking about it when I was in my ride today. I dream in my head in the cloud with my feet on the ground. You need
a comment.
Bro.
I just remember the startup in Nigeria. I respect the founders. I won't mention their name. I was just thinking, their name just popped up in my head this week, and I was just thinking, these guys have been at it for I think more than 4-5 years now, and they're still proper startup. They're still startup.
They're still startup.
You get these guys are going hard.
Yeah.
So for me, it was recognizing that building is not, and these guys are not slacking
exactly.
Off. I must put it out there that these guys are they are, in fact, in Nigeria, they are very, very well known.
That's crazy.
But building is tough.
That's crazy. That's
building is tough. So it depends on the industry.
Building is tough, and the thing is that, like, for a lot of visionaries, I think this is what will solve this problem of having multiple visions at once.
Yeah.
When you know and understand what it takes to build one thing, that's why I said start. I didn't say do one thing. I said start with one thing. Mean something meaningful that will take you time, maybe 6 months to a year. Start with that one thing.
Are you sure a year is even enough?
No. I need you to see. I need you there to be a minimum amount of time you go
to put at it. Yes.
So that you know that this is what delivering results takes. This is what delivery results takes.
Yeah.
Until you understand that, stop telling me about your many ideas and dreams. When you truly understand what it is to build a thing, all those your visions that you have written down, you will now sit down. Nobody will tell you.
Wisdom of age.
Wisdom of the age. Nobody will tell you that, okay, this is what it takes to build. You will then engage. But I know that something that definitely helps, and this is some advice or some idea that I got while praying about this. Right. The one skill that you will learn that will turn things around for you is leadership.
Yes, bro, for that I 100% agree.
It will turn things around for you because
deploy people like machines.
Deploy people. There is a particular guy, and see, it's being done. This is more popular than people think it is.
People don't just see.
People just don't realize there's multiple visions.
Yeah.
What is a franchise owner that is running 75 locations? That's multiple things to do,
bro.
So I want to destigmatize the fact that you have, see, the bottom line is that there is only so much time and energy you have to do a thing.
Yeah.
So but you need to do multiple things to get a particular place in life that you want to do. So I want to destigmatize it. Like, don't feel bad about the fact that you're multi-talented and you're this. Learn to build. That's the advice I would give you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Learn to build one step at a time. Do that one thing first. You have a long life ahead of you.
Yes.
6 months to a year. Give it to building one thing. You will pragmatically understand that this is what building takes.
Yeah.
Your vision, I imagine that you have a place where you are writing it. You should be expressive. You have a vision board. You have Pinterest. You have set up everything. You've cut out newspaper clippings. You've printed out and posted everywhere. You are the guy, right? By the time you spend time building one thing, start with one. I didn't say do one. Start with one.
Yeah. Once
you started with that one and you see what building is like, you will know what to do.
Yeah.
At that point in time, you probably need a coach. Like there is no way around a coach or a mentor, someone that you can talk to that will tell you, oh, do this.
Yeah.
What did the guy, and then in terms, if they now happen to be in multiple or different things, you need, let me say this, you need to be okay with sharing.
Yes, you do.
Sharing in the sense that I have this idea, but I can't build it. I know what to do.
That's what Elon did with Twitter now.
Build it.
Outsource CEO.
Do you understand? He outsourced CEO.
Please, babe, come and take CEO role.
I can get people that know my vision, that I can get on board with the vision.
Yeah.
Give them equity.
Give them equity, bro.
Give them equity. Learn to share. I know this because there were things I tried to build that I saw how much it could work. I was like, I can't do this thing myself. I got greedy. And I was like, why do I need to share? Why do I need to share? But that would have been so much better if then I had shared.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
That, yeah.
So this is like my journey has not been long. I would say that it has, this 2023, I would say it's been 5 years. Let's say if my starting point was end of university, 2018. It's just been 5 years. It hasn't been long. Maybe 3 of those 5 years spent more meaningfully or more intentionally. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. I get
not
that.
Just winging things. Yeah. Right? 3 of those 5 years being spent more meaningfully or intentionally. So it hasn't really been long. That's why I said this would have been a better conversation to have 5 years into when things are working. But the things I can tell you is this: number one, have clarity on what things are supposed to be. So for instance, Amara knows I love music. Sometimes Amara and I talk about music, and I'm like, music is just a language in itself. Like, it's beautiful. Yeah. Do you get? I can play guitar for hours, guy. I not feel tired. But I might not be able to work at the computer for that long. I can play basketball every day, and not feel tired. I will feel the aches and this thing, but the one thing to do because I like it. But I know that, basketball is an escape for me. Yeah. I can make a business out of it by creating sports franchises and making like sports things big again. And I have plans for that. I have thoughts about that. Yeah. I'm seeing some of it happen, especially with Sporting Lagos and some things like people are getting interested in local sports. And I'm keeping an eye on that ever so passively. Why? Because the time for bandwidth, I will find it somehow, some way. Or I will make it somehow, some way at the point when I feel like, okay, I can pay this a little more attention. Right? Yes. But for now, I know what it is. And I have to be patient that if I want to do this and I feel strongly about it, I will do it. Might not be now, but I will do it. So have clarity on what things are. Have timelines of, okay, I can imagine I can do this now. And you always refine this. Yes, you will. Maybe take a look at that list twice a year. Yeah.
I will take a look at it every quarter.
This is why I'm saying twice a year, right? Because when you get into pragmatically building, you'll understand what it takes.
The time it takes.
You understand the time it takes to build.
You'll be in a hurry.
Don't be in a hurry. See, you have a long life. Do you know one advantage you have?
You have.
Most of humanity doesn't know how to execute. So don't be scared.
True.
Most of humanity doesn't know how to execute. True. That's why I can talk about ideas from now to tomorrow and know that nothing's going to happen.
Bro, what's his name? What's his name? Can't remember his name, but this guy said it. I follow him on Instagram. He said the exact same thing. I can tell you my ideas. I can tell you every single thing
that needs to be done.
And I'll still be ahead of you.
Because I know you will still sit on your butt. Like, I don't mind.
I don't mind.
I will be scared
when he said that
kind of person that will over execute. That's the person I'm scared of.
That's the kind of person I'm scared of. If I see that your work ethic is out of the roof.
Bro, I will keep my mouth shut most of the time around you, to be fair. Or leverage like the partnership we can build. Exactly. So guys, in a nutshell, so that this makes sense. Yeah. Number one, clarify what things are, what things should be. Put them in buckets. Yeah. Right. Yes. If possible, put them in a timeline. Yes. Right. Yeah. Have patience. Right. Start with one thing. I didn't say do one thing. I'm making that distinction. Start with one thing. Start with that thing. Build it for 6 months to a year. Yeah. So you understand, number one, what it takes to build. Yeah. Number two, you have the reputation and the competence and the confidence in yourself that you can take the thing from zero to finished, zero to built, right? Once you've done that, you can now more pragmatically tell this is how these things will come about. Yes. Maybe the last piece of advice we mentioned here is leverage leadership. Yes, and learn to share. Yes, and learn to share. That equity, give it. Yeah. You will be fine. Yeah. So that's pretty much.
Guys, I hope that was more than enough to take away.
Yeah.
Even if you have one vision, I feel like you still have
I feel like there is still stuff that you can take away from here. Yeah. Right. I feel like there's still stuff you can take away from here.
So guys,
thank you for listening to the person that asked this question. I think we know this person, right?
Yes, we do. We do. We know him. We'll call his name.
Our guy.
Big man.
So, we hope that this helped in some way, form, or shape. You found this useful. And we can always reach out and talk about this if you want to explore this some more.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
We will be seeing you in the next one. Take care,
guys.